Hey guys, this is Spark Plus Ultra here, and this is my part 3 on what if Deku had Leona Heidern abilities. Team Makari, and I hope you like this video and hope you subscribe. The next day, Zumi goes to train a bit, but when she does that, she sighs a bit, feeling lonely, and then Zumi grabs a picture. Team Akari. Raph Jones, Clark Still, Heidern, her family, and Zumi smiles and says, "Alright, going to school." And Zumi pocketed it in her bag and goes off to school. Zumi was shy a bit, but she has one cold, serious face. Like stone cold serious, but she'll do her best. She was walking down in the hall while thinking to herself, how can I introduce myself? And Zumi thinks of ways to introduce herself and remind her she is not great. I mean, she was trained in the military since she was a little kid. This is going to be very awkward for her. And Zumi looks at class 1A, and then she thinks, alright, I'll do my best, and opens the door. And when she opens the door, she hears, "You're violating school policy!" And Zumi was confused. Did I already violate school policy? Then Zumi then thinks, oh, I think I recognize this voice, and sees Ida arguing with Bakugo and putting his legs on the table, and they were a bit arguing, but Zumi then sighs and says, well, it's a introduction, and she goes and sits down in her seat. And when she does that, she also hears another person's voice. Oh wow, I didn't recognize you with your hair going down. Man, you look cuter. And Zumi thinks, huh? It's the girl that I saved. And the girl says, oh, sorry for blatantly saying it, but I didn't introduce myself. My name is Ochako Uraka. Zumi says, thank you, Uraka. And Uraka says, oh, I didn't get your name. You were the one that saved me. I didn't hear your name. And Zumi then says, my name is Zumi Heidern. Ochako says, Heidern? It's my home country's name from Spain. And Chaka says, that is so cool. Thanks for saving me. And Zumi says, it's no problem. And Chaka looks at Zumi, and she's keeping a straight face, but she's trying not let her emotions go out. And Chaka says, hey, why aren't you showing your expression? And Zumi puts a straight face and says, I don't want to express it that much. And Chaka says, oh, that's fine. Tell me, how did you cut it with only just your hand? And Zumi was going to tell her, but heard a certain person's voice. Are you two done arguing about a petty squabble? And then Ida and Bakugo looks at the door and see a man sleeping on the floor. And then Zumi stands right up and salutes Aizawa. And Aizawa says, that's enough, Zumi. And Zumi says, yes, sir. And Bakugo says, oh, so you salute to him, but not to me. What makes it even remotely similar? And Zumi looks at Bakugo, I honor his dedication. Bakugo says, huh? Getting a little annoyed on that answer. And Bakugo says, I still haven't forgot you called me weak, you ass. And Chaka says, did you really call him? Sumi says, yeah? Is that wrong? And it confused sense. And all the students were muttering to themselves that she actually called him weak, and in his face as well. And Sumi says, don't take it personally. And Bakugo says, I'll take it personally because you said it! And Azawa says, alright, you two, cut it out. Zawa looks at Zumi, and Zumi salutes and says, yes sir, sorry for my talking back. And Zawa says, relax, Zumi, you're not in trouble. You did try your best. And looking at Bakugo, Bakugo, don't let your temper control you. And Bakugo says, but! And Zawa says, no but. She has a trouble emotions she can't express. She has been trained in the military since a young kid. Bakugo says, fine, when I hear her do it again, I'll beat the crap out of her. And Zawa says, what a pain. And Zumi sits down, and Zawa says, well, that worked out. Well, he took up all the argument. Whatever. My name is Shoto Ozawa, and I'm your teacher. And all the students get shocked, but except Zumi. And Zawa says it took about 6 minutes to break that fight up. Not good enough. And Zawa tells the students to go and change in their PE clothes and going outside. And Zumi was standing up and says, yes, sir, Azawa. And Zawa sighs and says, well, this is going to be fun. And Zumi and all of Class 1A go into the PE, get changed into their clothes. And Zumi was putting on her PE clothes when she put a hairband on her head to make a similar hairstyle as Momo. And Chaka says, now I see the hairstyle you usually wear on when you were in the robot taking down villains. And Zumi says, I only put this up if it means a real duty to deal with. So I'll make preparations. And Sue says, wow, you are prepared. And Zumi says, yes, I am a soldier. I need to be prepared for almost anything. And Machako says, well, you also need to understand your own emotions, but you're trying your best. And Zumi says, thank you, Chaco. And Class 1A has gone to outside and get ready to do their warm-up. Azawa says, alright, time to do the throwing practice. And he chooses Zumi because of how well she performed and saved people and taking down the villain. And Zumi says, yes sir. And Zumi grabs the ball, and Azawa says, please stop calling me sir, just call me Azawa. And Zumi says, yes, Azawa, sir. And Azawa says, and Zumi then throws the ball, and it landed on about 3,000 meters without her quirk. And all the students were amazed on how Zumi threw that without using her quirk. And Zawa says, yeah, her quirk is unknown, even to her family. Not even them know what her quirk is. And the students say, does it have an effect on her body? And Zawa says, nope. Seems like her somewhat quirk, well, is from Heidern, says martial arts. Zumi can heat her hand to a high degree, making it slash through metal with minimum ease. The students were amazed on what they hear, and Zumi says, and I don't remember what my quirk and how it works. So, and the students are amazed, but Bakugo says, huh, does that mean you don't even how it works or why? Guess that's an excuse. And Zumi says, I don't even know. Sorry. And Zawa says this. She might be quirkless, but it's hard to tell. Even her limits are different from normal soldiers. Even a private military doesn't have that easy form. And all the students do their tests, and Zumi made it through running because her stamina is pretty well built, taken up to 3rd place with keeping a good amount of stamina. And when she goes and grabs the grip strength, she made it to 3rd place. 2nd is Kirishima, which Zumi talks to him, and Kirishima gets a unusual answer, and Zumi says, you remind me of one of my friends in the military. And Kirishima says, really? Huh, that kinda, is that a compliment, or? Zumi says, it's a compliment. And Kirishima says, huh, thanks. What's your military friend's name? And Zumi says, his name is Ralph Jones? And Kirishima says, whoa, what does his quirk is? I'm very enthused on how it works. And Zumi says this, his quirk is called Demolition. And Kirishima says, whoa, does that mean he can become a living demolition man? And Zumi thinks, yes, answering his question, and Kirishima thinks, oh wow, I bet he's as strong as Red Riot. And Zumi thinks on what he said, I don't know. Crimson Riot! And Zumi thinks, I do not know who Crimson Riot is. And Kirishima says, what? You don't know who Crimson Riot is? And Zumi says, no, I only was a wandering orphan in Spain, so I don't even know who that is. And Kirishima says, oh, I didn't know that. Zumi says, it's fine. And Kirishima sees Zumi smiling a bit, and Kirishima says, I'm sorry if I'm saying it out of character, but is this the first time you smiled? I mean, I know we never met each other, but you seem all down in the dump and worried. And Zumi says, sorry, I just thought it's a good talk. And Kirishima says, next time you show a photo of Raph Jones, okay? And Zumi chuckles a bit and says, okay. And Zumi goes to agility. And knowing soldier training in a mix of ex-military, they take real hard stuff and focus all on agility and dexterity, strength, speed, and most crucial, the mental mind, which Zumi's mental mind is sort of fractured. I said sorta because it's mostly due to Orochi, and her agility is pretty much second to none. So second place, because Manea took those balls, and Zumi has taken about 6th place on not using any of her quirk, and all the students were amazed on how she did it so well, and saying, "Are you really sure your quirk isn't you in your physical body?" And Sumi says, "No, I worked extensively on that. My military mercenary friends call me the Demolition Woman, but sometimes they mess with me a bit." And all of the students were amazed on hearing what she's saying, except Bakugo. Quirk hasn't left around her. And when Bakugo was listening to Kirishima and Sumi's talk, he saw a little red mark around her hair. A tiny mark that was gone in a flash when Sumi was back into her usual state. And Bakugo thinks, this woman, this girl is just hiding it. I don't know. Just a freaking coincidence. But I just saw some steam as well. I'll find out what quirk is. No holds bar. And the next day, all of Class 1A sits down, and then they see the door open and a hero appears and says, "Don't worry, because I am here, walking like a true hero." And all the students, except Sumi, cheers, and Sumi was confused on what she's hearing. And the Ochakos tells Sumi that this is the #1 hero named All Might. And Sumi says, "#1? Isn't he in Japan or United States?" And All Might confirms to Sumi that he is the #1 on Japan of heroes. And Sumi says, "That's incredible. How did you do that?" And All Might says, "I did lots of practicing on my quirk, and thanks to these items, I can fully control it." And then when All Might says that, speaking of hero gear, and you are all doing a hero training course, and all the students are excited, and All Might says, "And you can wear your hero gear to complement your abilities." And Sumi and all the students go into the changing room to change into their hero gear. Sumi wears the Metal Slug costume, or gear, because, well, it is canon to the series, because Metal Gear had her, and it is considered canon to Capcom, because Capcom really loves making things canon in their series. It's kind of a trend at this point, but she ain't just holding just her Metal Slug gear. She has a neck earrings with special cases in them, and 2 modified guns with a suppressor on them. And relax, it's just rubber bullets within them. Sumi walks and sees a lot of the courses resembles Tokyo, and was amazed on how they made it. And Sumi sees all of the Class 1A's hero gear, and Sumi basically looks at all of them and basically scans at them, seeing their uses and asking questions on how they work. When she does that, he got interrupted by All Might, who says, "Alright, Sumi, it's time to do the hero challenge." And all the students are waiting for All Might to do the teams and how they're going to be together. And the first team is Zumi and Bakugo versus Denki and Jiro. And Bakugo says, "What? I was waiting to face her, not them." And All Might says, "Well, sorry, Bakugo, but that's the rules." And Zumi bows to Bakugo and says, "It was very nice to have you on my team." And Bakugo says, "Save the small talk and just get ready to battle." And both Bakugo and Zumi get into their hero place, and Bakugo is pretty pissed off that he wasn't fighting her. And Zumi says, "Don't be so angry about it." And Bakugo says, "Angry? Oh, I'm not angry. I'm freaking fantastic." And Zumi looks at him. "You're angry." "No shit." "Okay, what worthless plan are we going to do?" And Zumi looks at him and pulls out a shotgun. And Bakugo says, "Whoa, hang on. What are you?" And Zumi shoots down the knob, and unlocking the door, Bakugo says, "Huh, nice job." And Zumi says, "Always takes a handiwork for dealing with situations. That's how we work in our station camp. My commander made me do some runs when I was a kid." And Bakugo says, "Heh, besides calling me weak, I'm honestly kinda like this." And when they were going into the first room, Jiro then listens to them, and Jiro was thinking, they broke down that door with 3 seconds? Zumi really is quick to respond. And Denki says, "But how are we going to defend this while we have to deal with these two? We're not very good at defense." And Jiro says, "You underestimate my earphone jack." Denki then realized, right, I could also take them out simultaneously if I surprise attack them. And Jiro says, but we need to make a diversion. I doubt Zumi and Bakugo fall for a measly trick." While Denki and Jiro were working on a plan, Zumi and Bakugo look around. Bakugo says, "I'm going to deal with them by myself," and is going to explode away, while then Zumi grabs his arm and says, "We need to work together. This is not how we work as a team in our training exercise." And Bakugo says, "Huh? What do you mean by that? I ain't on your team. What the hell is your team called?" And Zumi says, "Our team is called Ikari Warriors." Ikari Warriors? And Bakugo gets a little laugh out of that and thinks, "Do you know what that means?" And Zumi says, "Yes, it means angry warriors." And Bakugo laughs. "Wow, you really need to work. Your team really needs to work on that." And Zumi says, "I think it's fine." And Bakugo says, "Whatever. Besides your team's name, why did you call me weak?" And Zumi then says, "Don't take it personal." And Bakugo says, "I'll take it personal because you called me weak. Why did you call me weak? If anything, you're weaker than me." And Zumi then looks at him. "Sure, don't you call me weak?" And when she said that, Bakugo was at awe on what she said, and it pissed him off. "Stop infuriating me. Shouldn't you be angry at me?" And Zumi looks at him. "Why would I be angry?" And when Zumi was walking, Bakugo says, "Why can't you take a hint?" And was about to hit her with his explosion. Sumi then pulls his arm and puts him on the ground, covered in his mouth. Bakugo says, "What the?" and stares at her. And Sumi says, and then when she shushes him, Bakugo then realizes, it's that earphone girl's quirk. She's spying on us. And Sumi then does a signal sign to tell him what to do. And Bakugo says, "I don't take orders from you." And Sumi stares at him and with a serious glare, telling him to just do it. And Bakugo says, "Fine." And when they were setting up the plan, Jiro says, "I found them." And Denki says, "Okay, where are they?" And they were arguing, but somehow were gone. And Denki says, "So you're telling me that they were in somewhere in 3rd floor?" And Jiro says, "Yes, I don't know where they've gone." Then when she said that, an explosion comes from the left. And Jiro says, "Denki, I hear one of them created an explosion." And Denki says, "It might have been Bakugo guy, and it must be annoyed to find you." And then Denki tries to sneak attack him on the left side of the 3rd floor, but all he sees is a damaged room, but no Bakugo or Sumi. Then when they hear, Jiro hears a step, and Jiro then realizes, "Denki, get out of there!" And Denki says, "What? What's up, Jiro?" And Bakugo says, "You're right, your earrings does help out with this." And Sumi shows Denki the weaponized explosive earrings. And Denki says, "What the? Your earrings are made out of..." "That's right, her earrings are made out of the same stuff as my sweat." And Denki then says, "Jiro, Sumi may used her." And then Bakugo and Sumi took down Denki with a quick, precise takedown. And Jiro says, "Denki, where are you? What happened?" And Bakugo says, "Sorry about this, earphone girl, but the electric boy has just disconnected." And then Bakugo explodes the earphone and making a loud noise in Jiro's ears. And Jiro screams, "Ow!" and mesmerizing her hearing a bit, making her head beat. And Sumi says, "She's up in the 5th floor. Let's go." And Bakugo says, I don't take orders from you." And Sumi and Bakugo made it to 5th floor and sees Jiro in a migraine. And Sumi sees the weapon and touches it, making it a easy, quick finish. And All Might says, "The hero team wins!" And Sumi takes the MVP for having a quick mind and thinking of strategies at a moment's pass, while Bakugo had a tendency to have to deal with being a solo to deal with them and try to hurt his teammate. And the day has gone by, and Sumi was going into the mirror and looking at her hair and see some red marks on her hair. Sumi was strange out and was wondering what is going on. And that's where I'm ending this video. I hope you like this video and hope you subscribe. See you next time.